Gareth Bale, the fourth most expensive footballer of all time, first came to prominence as a quick, surprisingly creative left-back in a season that saw Southampton reach the Championship playoffs but fall to Derby on penalties. Bale was named the BBC Wales Young Sports Personality of the Year that season, having scored 5 goals, and in May 2007 he was signed by Spurs for a final fee of £7 million. He struggled with injuries and played 24 games for Spurs without winning a match, then a league record. Spurs, under Harry Redknapp, initially used Bale as a left-back. In 2009-2010 though, he got his chance to play as a left midfielder in a 4-4-1-1, a position that Ryan Giggs had predicted he would eventually make his own. Redknapp played Bale as an orthodox left midfielder going into the 2010-11 season. His strongest performances at the time came when he bombed up and down the left-hand side of the pitch, cutting inside only at the last moment. His superb performances against Inter Milan when he left Maicon, a world-class right-back, looking decidedly average, were touchline-hugging in the extreme. With Luka Modric pulling the strings from deep in the midfield and Rafael van der Vaart playing in the hole, Bale could stay wide and use his pace to find the space to cross or tuck inside his opposition right-back to find shooting opportunities. On the other flank, Spurs used Aaron Lennon in the same way. Their 4-4-1-1 had quick wingers, space for Van der Vaart in the hole and a dynamic midfield axis. But there were issues with this. Bale and Lennon could be marked out of games if the opposition doubled up on them, but if the Welshman drifted centrally away from the marking, the centre would become crowded as Van der Vaart was somewhat lethargic and disinclined to create space for Bale. Redknapp was replaced by Andrés Villas-Boas for the 2012-13 season and Spurs lost Modric to Real Madrid. Villas-Boas compensated by shifting to a 4-2-3-1 with a dynamic double axis in midfield of Sandro and Moussa Dembele, who could also carry the ball forwards. Clint Dempsey or Gylfi Sigurdsson playing in the 10 role, both more mobile and hard-working than Van der Vaart. Bale and indeed Lennon was still key to Spurs' early style under AVB though. Pace out wide, whipped in balls to Jermaine Defoe, or the aerial threat of Dempsey arriving late, and Bale especially welcome to drift inside and create more himself, with Dempsey able to drop off or push up, and Sandro and Dembele far more capable of covering a cross if required. But increasingly, Bale found that he could dictate the game from central positions, and so AVB moved him into the 10 role, and then eventually, when opposition players tried to force him back out wide to nullify his scoring threat, into an inverted right winger, a left-footed player on the right of a 4-3-3. Indeed, some of Bale's matches towards the end of his time at Spurs saw him play all 3 roles in the same game: left winger in a 4-2-3-1, number 10 in a 4-2-3-1, or an inverted winger on the right of a 4-3-3. Bale's intelligence, combined with AVB's desire to switch tactics depending upon opponent, or even in-game, meant that the Welshman could do this, flexible, adaptable and brilliant wherever he played. Moving to Real Madrid for a then world record fee, Bale continued to improve and play in a variety of roles. Under a succession of coaches, Bale has shown the same flexibility he demonstrated at Spurs can also work in the more technical, slightly slower Spanish top league. Bale has continued to score at an impressive rate, hitting heights in goals and assists per 90 that he failed to reach at Spurs. Key passes per 90 has also generally been more impressive for Real. The step up in quality was not too much for the Welshman, who is, let's not forget, still only 28. This season, Bale has played as a striker in a 4-3-1-2 and on the right-hand side of a 4-3-3, scoring 2 goals and 1 assist in La Liga and 1 goal and 2 assists in the Champions League. In a crowded squad for attacking talent, Bale still carves out a role for himself. Strong, quick, intelligent and tactically flexible, Bale has come a long way from the overlapping left-back who made a debut as a 16-year-old on the south coast of England.